Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you. Happy Saturday morning. So yeah, we're just going to be hopefully doing some fun stuff. I'm thinking what I might do is I might start off the stream with a playtest because I haven't really dedicated much time to actually playtesting a lot of the new changes. So I think what I'll do is I'll just go through, I'll do a playtest, I'll see how it goes, and then we can evaluate what to do from there. We'll take some notes and all that good stuff. But it'll also be a good opportunity for those of you who haven't really seen what a full playthrough of the game looks like. It'll be a good opportunity for you to see that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. But before I do, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis is available for wishlisting on Steam. It's linked in the description below. It's a dark fantasy roguelite auto battler where you can use alchemy to create your own builds. So if that sounds interesting, definitely give it a wish list. You can also support the game on Patreon. A couple of nice perks for doing so. If you subscribe at the sponsor tier here for at least 1 month, you will get an Alchemortis Steam key sent to you when the game launches, so you won't have to buy it on Steam, and your name will be listed in the in-game Alchemortis credits. So if that sounds interesting, give that a look as well. And I also have the Udemy courses available for sale. There are 4 different Udemy courses that I've created. They all cover different topics. So if you're interested in learning how to build games in the Godot engine, check those out as well. You can also join the Discord, that's linked below, and all that good stuff. All right, let's say hello to everybody. Hello, Kelso, welcome back. Francesco, good to see you. All right, let's just get started here with a run then. I have to turn off all of my debug settings. We will leave ignore unlocks on for now, as well as skip menu, but we're going to turn off enable test player cards. All right, let's give it a run. Let's see what happens. Alrighty. Where do I want to go first? Let's go to the obelisk. Put my cards on the board. Artifact node. Ooh, I could use an artifact node. Let's see what happens. Okay. So I'm thinking we go around and grab these combats so I can get some blood. Might as well go ahead and upgrade one of the skeletons here. It's going to do a little bit more damage. This one is going to deal fire damage and heal. I think that's fine. Let's see what happens. Unfortunately, I think that effect is rendering behind the player board, so I'm going to need to figure that out. And I already died. Very cool. Well, goodbye. Goodbye, skeleton. I guess I misjudged. Am I going to die again? Oh my gosh, I'm going to die again. All right, I already lost the run. Okay. All right, let's try again. Well, that was not good. This is why we play test. All right. Let's try that again. Probably should get some cards first before I go into any combats. Let's go this way. That was hard, yeah. So still some balancing to do, but we'll figure all that out. Paralysis and Relic contains blind and weapon, fire and minion. Let's go for minion because I already have a minion artifact here. There we go. Got a salamander and a grimoire. Do I want to do some alchemy already? Let's go to the enchant first, see what we can get here. Echo, ooh. Maybe we do fire build? Echo on there. And then let's do Skeleton Warrior with the Salamander. Skeleton Warrior projects to one random enemy card echo. Critical chance reduced by 30%. That is quite a lot of damage though. Let's take that one. And then I need more residue. Let's just do this skeleton with the Grimoire. That should be enough to get some more residue. Ooh, a legendary skeleton. Apply preserve equal to damage taken since last execution. Dang. Alright, maybe we take the skeleton then. I was thinking I would put the salamander on there, but we got a legendary skeleton. So the goal here is I need to find the boss strongholds. I need to find the boss strongholds and then defeat the bosses before the enemies get too strong. Apply 1 fire. 8 turns of prowl. Let's just take the marionette because I am going to be doing a minion. I'm going to try to do like a minion fire build, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, this booster has fire cards. Let's see. Fire and relic. Let's do it. Oh my. Skeleton dragon. 12 preserve damage. Damage equal to preserve damage dealt. Iron Maiden. Let's just go ahead and sell that one. We'll get some blood out of that. There's a shop there. Oh, that's a tier 3 shop. Wow. I think we could take this one here. Let's see. Yeah, I am doing quite a lot of damage, actually. That legendary card right off the bat. Oh, here we go. More fire. Let's see. Do we have an alchemy opportunity here? The Phoenix is good, but it's going to exhaust itself. But I'm going to try making that work. Let's just do that with the marionette. Here we go. Deal 6 damage, deal 3 damage if there are at least 3 allied minion cards on the board. That should work. Now the problem is that's a 2x2 card and I don't really have a room for that right now. But I could take the marionette instead. Although this isn't a minion, so I need to fit another minion on the board. Let's just take the Phoenix. And we'll see how that goes. I think I have room for the salamander now though. So I'll just go ahead and put that guy there. Okay, go to this combat. I don't know where the stronghold is, so we're going to be probably looking for a little bit, but... Boom. I kind of want the giant fungus. Although this is a minion. Skeleton dragon. What do I do with this guy? Goodbye, skeleton dragon. That was easy, yeah. Yeah, I've got a good build going on so far, but we're going to take the giant fungus there. Giant mushroom. Where is this region's stronghold? It's probably down here somewhere. I do want to grab this max health, though. Let's grab the max health. Increase health by 20. Okay, I'm going to come back down this way. I hope I have enough money for the shop here. Let's see. Ooh, another fungus gigantus. Notoriety level required to trigger a boss fight. I need to update that. That's wrong. Let me write that down. Do I have that? Update sundial. I need to update that one. What do I want? 5 fire per allied card that applies fire. I might as well grab this. I think that's going to be... Oh, I have no space in inventory. Goodbye, Stone Hue. We'll grab that. I need some small cards. There's a stronghold. Okay. So I'm going to go grab this enchant. I think I'm almost ready to fight the boss, I think. Increase critical chance by 10%. Oh, this has echo. Ooh. Oh, but this is enchant 1. I probably can't. Yeah, this encounter too weak to add more enchantments to the card. Poison applied is increased by 1. Swarm deal 3 damage. Alright, well. Let's just go ahead and throw the swarm on there. That's going to deal an additional 3 damage. But if I end up getting a swarm card, I can trigger that more often. Ooh, fire takes 1 turn longer to execute, but executes 1 additional time. Yes, please. I think I can just wrap around this way. I think the goal is to try to get to this checkpoint before I fill up that notoriety bar. I think I can handle that. Nice. Reduces the remaining turns of 1 random allied minion card on the bottom edge of the board by 10. Apply 6 poison if this card's turn cooldown is 10 or greater. Oh, that's interesting. On the bottom edge of the board. I need to start alchemizing these things, I think. Here is a explosive flask, though. There's a 1/1 card for me. Let's go to the obelisk. I need to do some alchemy here. I've got a lot of large cards. Reagent nodes, card upgrade nodes. All nearby card upgrade nodes will upgrade cards twice. Shop node. Let's just do this one. Okay. Let's go here then. We'll upgrade the skeleton mage. That should go up to tier 3. Just gonna apply more fire. Actually, there's an opportunity to alchemize this guy too. Let's see. I'm gonna try to do this with the Phoenix. I hope I don't brick this, but let's see. Increase turn cooldown by 4. I think that's acceptable. 3x damage. It's still got echo. It's going to become exhausted after 2 executions, but it's going to be doing a lot of fire damage. Plus 24 damage. Oh my goodness. This should be good, actually. I think that's going to work. Let me see. I might not get to the boss before I trigger the thing. Let's see. Did it work? Skeleton mage? No, it's not counting itself. It's not counting itself, so I probably need to update that. Let me just fix that right now. Allow self query equals true. I think that will work. Because it's not working the way I think it should work. But if this gets alchemized onto a minion card, there are 3 minions on the board, and it should be working, but it's not because it's excluding itself from the query. So we'll just fix that. This is why we play test. Ooh, 6 fire. Here we go. Am I going to be able to make it to the stronghold? Let's see. I'm doing a lot of damage. Orvid, that echo might be good. See if I can make that work. All right. Dowsing rod. This might actually be good. Hold on a second. We can make this work. Dowsing rod with explosive flask. Oh, shoot. That was not what I wanted. That's okay. So we got a 50% crit chance on this dowsing rod. And now if I apply... Ooh. Let's do that. Increases critical chance of allied cards that apply fire by 10% for 1 execution. Okay, we can make this work. So all of these are doing fire, so that should actually apply the crit chance buff to all those. It looks like we're going to make it to the stronghold before the Inquisition strength goes up, so let's see. Wow. So it takes a little bit for the build to ramp up, but Relic and Ritual. I don't have any... Well, that's a Ritual card. 5 damage, deal 2x damage if there's an adjacent minion. Oh, did I accidentally... I gave myself cheats. Oops. Can't believe I did that. Well, I'm going to have to figure out... Actually, I can do this. We'll try to bring it back to what I had before. Okay, we'll just say that's what I had. I don't know why I did that. Trying to do a real test here. Anyway, so we're in the boss fight now. This might actually be a little bit difficult. 20 damage, 169 health. What can I do here? I mean, I could put more fire on the board. Let's do that. All right, let's see. Ooh, barely won. But we're good. We're good. Ooh, we got a swarm ability now. Okay, here we go. Let's... So the Inquisition's strength has gone up. So I need to make my way to another region, find the strongholds before it gets too intense. I am going to grab this increased board size here, though, for a second. Let's just move the board right. These should not have tier indicators if they're cleared. Okay. Card rendering server 526. Just try to investigate these as they come up. Parent node is busy setting up children. Okay. Well, we should be able to fix that. $526. Okay. Hopefully that fixes that. Just fix these things as I go along. These are simple fixes, I think. Alrighty. What was I going to do here? Swarm with the axe. 5 damage, deal 2x damage if there's an adjacent minion. Swarm, apply 2 bleed. Very nice. So let's grab that. I need to figure out a way of getting this Fungus Gigantus on the board. Let's just alchemize those 2 things as well. 5 damage to self, 4 poison to self. That is not good. Paralyze this card. Okay. This one should work. Deal 2x damage if there's an adjacent minion. Oh, but I lose the swarm. Well, let's take the axe. Maybe I can grab some reagents to get that one back in shape. Now, where do I want to go? I need to get into one of these other regions. Maybe we'll just try to go up this way. We still haven't hit 100 notoriety yet. Copies poison abilities, apply 4 bleed, deal 4 damage. Well, I don't really need any of these, so... Well, we'll save it, actually. Let's take the scythe. Hello, Tempura Cat Games. Good morning to you as well. Hello, Emerson, welcome back. Good to see you. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Just wanted to make sure that that was... I need to fix that. Don't delay notoriety increase if visiting cleared node. Bug. All right, let's go to this combat here. These are getting kind of difficult, actually. Oof, I'm gonna need a health upgrade for sure. Ooh, another swarm, let's do that one. Okay, we will go to Obelisk. Reagent nodes. Board growth node. Let's take that. I don't know. I hope it doesn't change. Okay. That'll work. My board can grow an additional time. Let's go down and then up. All right, we got some room to work now. So now the Inquisition is stronger. That's a tough board. We're gonna not do that one. Hard upgrade 5. We might as well do this. Is that going to buff the increased turn cooldown by 5? Yeah. So every time I upgrade this, it gets a lower turn cooldown or a higher turn cooldown. That's all right. We got a tier 5 health increase here. Increase health by 45. Yes. Thank you. Okay. We got a shop. What do we got? Damages preserve. I'm actually kind of tempted to take the telescope. Let's grab the telescope and then also let's do an enchant. Oh, another echo? Ooh. What do I want to do with that? Let's put echo on this guy again. So 2 echoes. Okay. And we can be done with that. Okay, so... I think I'm in the region I'm supposed to be in. Am I in the region I'm supposed to be in? No, I'm not. I gotta go down this way. So still gotta make my way over. But we're getting some tough combats now. 88 fire to self? That doesn't seem right. That is not correct. I think I need to fix that. That board inspector's not working. Okay, let's see. Need to fix that. I think that's showing the wrong data. Maybe I'll stream this morning as well. Yeah, go for it. Streaming is fun. I like it. Do we want to hit enchant again? I kind of want to, let's see, grab the artifact. So we'll go to the enchant. We'll grab the artifact. Converts damage dealt to preserve. Do I want to do that? Add ritual tag to this card. Do I have anything that scales off of ritual? I don't think so. And another echo. Let's see. Put echo on the salamander. Echo is coming up a little bit too often. We might have to tweak that. But let's see what we could get in terms of artifacts here. Ooh. Allied minion card turn cooldown is reduced by 1. Allied non-minion card turn cooldown is increased by 2. Let's take that, because I got a lot of minions here. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to see. I think I just ignore those. So this is going to deal 27 preserve damage, 23 damage, fire damage. Okay. I think I can fight this one. Let's see. I need more blood for sure. Okay. I still want to figure out how to reduce the speed of combat a little bit, but we'll figure that out later, I suppose. I don't have many cards to work with. I need to get a booster. I could go down this way. Yeah, let's do that. I think I can fight this one too. Let's see. Okay. Mosquito Swarm. Go to enchant. Let's see what we got going on here. Immune to paralysis. Applies 10% blind to enemy cards if this card applies fire. Well, I am in luck. Let's grab the booster. I don't think I'm going to make use out of this Fungus Gigantus. I need a better way of getting alchemical residue. Wonder if I should just reward residue after combat too. Or I could do something interesting like selling an alchemized card will award residue instead of blood. How does that sound? So if I sell a card, if I sell a card that's not alchemized, then I just get blood for it. But if I sell a card that is alchemized, then I could sell it for residue instead. Got to figure out more ways to get residue, I think, because that's the only way to unlock the board spaces. It's a little bit cost prohibitive right now. Contains poison and alchemical cards. What do I want? Blind and weapon. Let's just do paralysis and relic. Let's see what we get. Ooh, Fist of Anger. %50 critical chance for 1 execution each time. Okay. Double preserve applied if health is less than 50%. How does that Fist of Anger work, actually? I kind of want that. I don't think I'm going to make good use of it, but... Wait, why did this turn cooldown go up? It said 7. Didn't it say 7? Why is it 17 now? What? Something is going wrong. Turn cooldown. Why did this go up to 17? Oh, sets the turn cooldown. Oh, because of the Giganticus. I wonder if I shouldn't... Maybe I shouldn't apply... Well, I don't know. If I move this, that will go back to 7. Maybe I shouldn't apply those ability changes when the cards are in your inventory. Anyway, I kind of want to do this. Swarm apply 2 bleed. Let's just see what happens. So this has Swarm now, which is pretty darn good, actually. So I guess I'll just start unlocking cells. Sell that. Sell that. Let's go fight this one. I mean, I have room. I might as well slap this guy in here. Just get some extra healing. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Apply 5 fire to both enemy and self per adjacent card with heal. Let's just sell that. Go to the obelisk. Come on, give me some reagents. I want some reagents here. Health upgrade nodes. Well, let's just do combat nodes. We can get some additional blood at least. Oh, it got rid of the board growth. That's okay. I didn't want the board growth anyway. I don't know. I don't know if the obelisk is actually generating those combat nodes correctly because I'm on a higher tier of difficulty, but it seems like it didn't generate a node with the proper difficulty. That seemed a little bit easy. So I'm going to need to investigate that. Contains fire and relic cards. Let's go for more fire. Another skeleton mage. Another funeral pyre. Ah, yeah. Well, you know what I can do, actually? I'm not going to be able to do anything with this axe. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of this. Bring this over. We're going to alchemize. Oh, I can't. I was going to alchemize that with the fungus gigantus. I can't do that. Okay. I might as well put this here. Blood reward is increased by 5. We're looking for the stronghold. I haven't found it yet. Let's see. I have a lot of blood now, though. Deal 10 damage. If this card has dealt at least 10 preserved damage, exhaust this card. Shouldn't show it in the inventory. You typically don't think strategy until you have that card on the board. You could quickly look at the card and it's bad because of the interactions. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I mean, the thing is, I kind of like the query highlighting, though. So, like... But we could try it. Let's see. Okay. So I got a lot of good stuff to fix up here, I think. Still haven't found the stronghold, so we might be in trouble here. I should start doing some alchemy, though. Maybe if I do, let's see. All right, we got some room to do some alchemy, so let's do this with this. Critical multiplier reduced by 1x. That's probably fine. Actually, this is going to be a beefy one. Do I want to get rid of this skeleton warrior? I think I will. I think I'll put this guy here instead. Yeah, that'll work. And then... Oh, there's the stronghold. Okay, we gotta go down that way. Health increase. Chant. I kind of want the reagent, but I need to get to the stronghold before the enemies get too strong. Maybe a marker that floats at the edge of the screen to show you where the next zone is if you are totally lost. Yeah, we're going to figure out something like that. Adds the minion tag to this card. No way. Okay, hold on a second. Why can't I not? Oh, there we go. I'm actually doing quite a lot of damage. Actually, there's an opportunity here to put those things together. I'm just going to put the Fist of Anger in there with it, YOLO. And the Rusty Spoon. No, not the Rusty Spoon. Heal enemy for 5. Heal 3. Apply 3 preserve plus... No, that's not good. Applies 5 turns of paralysis to 1 random card. Increase turn cooldown by 4. Actually, that's pretty good. Now we gotta find a room for that. Unlock this. Unlock that. And then we can put this here. Alrighty. Let's see what that does. And then can I enchant this? Adds the minion tag. Do I want the minion tag on this? Actually, might as well, because that's going to increase... Ability target limits are increased by 1. Oh, wait a minute. That is going to make it paralyze 2 cards now. Okay. Let's go to the max health. I might as well just splurge my money and increase my health by 40. Go here. Oh my gosh. I have 76 fire damage. Goodness gracious. Let's take the Phoenix again. Alright, let's fight the boss before it gets too strong. Get annihilated, boss. Projects to allied cards on the right edge of the board, echo. That might be useful. Seize the power that awaits you. Alright, now we gotta go and find the stronghold in this region here. I like rusty spoons. My character was moving invisible and the sprite stayed behind. First ever attempt. Yeah, that'll happen. Hello, Steak Fan Club, welcome. Might as well splurge on my health upgrade again. Alchemical reagents. Yeah, sometimes weird stuff like that happens in game development where it just doesn't work the way that you want it to. All output cards have their turn cooldown reduced by 1. All fire abilities of adjacent cards are guaranteed in alchemy outputs. That's a good one. Oh, legendary. Do I want to go and make one of these legendary? Yes. Okay, I have an idea. Let's get, let's sell this legendary skeleton warrior. Okay. We are going to make this goated card. We're going to make this guy legendary. How does that actually work? I might want to change this. Change Phoenix exhaust ability to deferred exhaust. Okay, anyway, do I want to put that in there? All fire abilities, innate. We'll do this. All preserve abilities of adjacent cards. All fire abilities of adjacent cards. Maybe I put this in there, and then I do all fire abilities of adjacent cards, and then we put the legendary in there. So I think this guy is either going to have... This guy is either going to have a 4 turn cooldown or a 9 turn cooldown. I think it's going to be 4, if I'm not mistaken, and he's going to have all these fire abilities. Let's see what happens. Oh, wait, but I don't know who's going to get the legendary. Oh, that seemed to work. Yeah, look at that. So we've got a 4 turn cooldown skeleton mage with 2 echoes. It has not quite a good legendary ability because I'm not doing any poison damage, but it applies 5 fire, 14 fire twice, 5 fire, 6 fire, and increases. Okay, so this is basically just like Burst City here. All right, let's see how that goes. Can I make room for the Fungus Gigantus? We could put some more stuff on the dowsing rod. Maybe if we do that with the Phoenix. Critical multiplier applies 25% blind to this card. Ugh. That's a little bit not so good, but that's okay. I actually don't know if this is going to work, but let's see. So we're basically just like front loading the burst. And we'll see what happens. Let's go to the shop. I have plenty of money, I think. If your board contains only weapon cards, no, we don't want that. Let's do reagents. Oh, goodness. Strips a legendary status from a card when used in alchemy. Let's take this. Adds the following abilities guaranteed. Converts all preserve applied to fire. Transmutes into a random card when used in alchemy. Apply 8 preserve to enemy critical chance reduced by 25%. What do I want here? I mean, this one is fine. 5 damage to self, that's alright. I'm just trying to make room. My plan is to do this, move this up, move these over, and then now I have the Fungus Giganticus. Heal 3 for each allied minion card. Confuse 3 random enemy minion card, or random enemy cards that deal damage. Okay, and then we'll take all these. Alrighty, that seems good to me. Where is this dang stronghold? Well, we're going to be fighting an upgraded version of the boss, I think, but let's see what happens. Oh, I already exhausted myself. That's okay. Boom. This is quite an interesting build. Ooh, the imp. Here we go. Absorbs a random ability from adjacent card to the right. That's a reagent. Well, we don't really have much use for that right now. I don't need this amber. Converts all preserve applied to fire. Oh. Okay. Let's just keep going this way. For each allied alchemical card above. I do have a couple of alchemical cards. Am I going to be able to make that snail cat work? If it's on the left edge of the board. Let's see. I might smash the PC. Hello, Snupbill. Welcome back. Hello, Eto. Good to see you. How you doing? Rusty is a good game. I want to make a game like Rusty. Was the font made by you? No, I haven't. No, the font was not made by me. But I'm glad you like the animations. Thank you. Hello, Defected. Good morning to you as well. Allied Relic and Ritual cards. To the right. Are you serious? Who is the developer that made all these random requirements? Ooh, another spore. Hee. I want to make use of that spore. I want to make it real good. I've got a couple of spores now, so what I might do is I might get rid of the Fungus Giganticus there. Might get rid of the Fungus Giganticus because I have a bunch of spores now. That's really all that I wanted. Where is this dang... I'm going to be wandering around here looking for the dang stronghold. Contains fire and minion cards. Here we go. Ooh, oh, the Acolyte. This is going to be perfect for my build. Let's see. Viper. We don't need the Viper. We'll get rid of that. I kind of want to keep that one. We'll get rid of this one. I don't think I'm going to make room for the Banshee. Probably not going to have room for the crystal ball. Probably not going to reuse the spoon. I may strip the legendary from this guy, because what I can do then is I can add more enchantments to him. So he's basically the same as the legendary, except it just removed that status. So now I can upgrade him more and also enchant him more. So that's going to be good. I'm going to get rid of the Fungus Giganticus. We're going to put the Acolyte in here. That's going to be really good. Dowsing Rod. What do I want to do with the Dowsing Rod? Well, we'll just hold on to it for a second. The Inquisition grows stronger. Oh, gosh. I need to do 2 more combat victories. How much money do I have? 55? I might as well just beef up my health again. Artifact tier 3. Where is the stronghold? Okay, we'll find it. Ooh, minion critical chances increased by 15% again. Yes, please. Yeah, I don't think this is right. 191 fire to self is definitely not correct. That's okay. I'll figure that out. But let's see what happens. Ooh. Projects to allied cards, heals 6 per non-alchemized allied card. If there's an adjacent alchemical card, gain 50% critical chance. 65% chance to apply paralysis to a random enemy minion for 3 turns. We'll just go ahead and put the zombie there, I guess. Am I just like, where is the stronghold over here somewhere? I hope it's not down there. Wow. That mage applied like 50 some, yeah, 48 plus 5, 53 fire. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, so much fire. Look at that. Anyway, that's kind of ridiculous, but that's the whole point. Absorbs up to 4 random abilities from enemy cards on combat start if this card is on the top edge of the board. Oh, yes please. Oh, and we have the imp now. Oh no. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I need the imp. I don't know if this Fist of Anger is doing much. So maybe I'll get rid of it. I kind of want to keep the dragon skill. Shoot, I want all of these things. All right, zombie, you're going. Goodbye. We're going to take the imp now. Okay. I need to put some more abilities on this imp, actually. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. Do I want to alchemize the imp with the mimic? And then put the imp on the top edge of the board? So I can absorb some enemy abilities? Yeah, let's do that. Perfect. Okay, so this is actually not going to be super ideal for a second, but we're going to put the imp on the top edge of the board. Actually, let's just reorganize some of this. Yeah, that'll probably work for now. And then, where is this dang stronghold? Okay, anyway, let's see what we got. Cauldron Scrub Brush, let's use that. And then this is an upgrade tier 5, which means I can upgrade my Skeleton Mage. He's gonna do even more fire damage. Excellent. And then what? Well, that's fine. I don't need anything else. Where is the stronghold? I might have to go back down here. Oh gosh. I hope this isn't a bug. Oh wait, am I in the wrong region? Oh shoot, I already cleared the stronghold for this region. I'm an idiot. So obviously I'm going to need some way of telling the player which regions are cleared and whatnot. So I've just been walking around in this region just collecting power. I need to get back to this region. This is the one. So since I'm in this situation, maybe what I'll do is I'll go for the field boss here. So this is the same boss fight as the stronghold. So I'll go for the field boss so I don't increase the enemy power too much. But now I gotta figure out a way over there. You know what? I may just end up... Is it worthwhile to backtrack or should I go and fight these things? Let's fight these things. I was just running around in the region. All right, anyway. Oh, shoot. I was thinking that this was going to absorb 4 abilities, but the Mimic was the one with the upgrade. Shoot. Okay, that didn't work. But deal 8 damage. I'll keep that there, actually. Let's see if we can get a better ability on that. We'll just put this grimoire there. Hello, Blue. Welcome, welcome. Is the map infinitely large? No, it's a finite size. So there is a limit to the number of nodes that you can visit. Let's do increase health by 40. That sounds good. Those health upgrades might be a little bit strong. I think they either need to offer less health or be more expensive. Absorbed, applied 10 preserve. That's not a great one either. Apply 6 turns of paralysis to 2 random enemy minion cards. Projects to allied ritual cards. Deal... Oh, this is going to be nasty, actually. So the Acolyte projects the ritual tag. Oh, and these are not using the temporary tags either. So I need to do that. Card tag in tooltip are not using temporary tags. Bug. So we got a number of things to fix here, but this is projecting the ritual tag to all of these cards, and then this is going to project deal 12 damage to all ritual cards. So that's going to be super nasty. We're going to get rid of the Fist of Anger. Put this here. Do I have room for alchemy on this card? I do. Oh, maybe I should have absorbed ability from that Fist of Anger. Actually, here's what I'll do. Let's see. I've got a bunch of spores, so let's absorb that grimoire ability. What? Oh, adjacent card to the right. Gosh, I just wasted a spore. Okay. Let's try it again. Okay, thank you. All right. And then we put this on. Okay. Cool. And then we can do this. Look at this. It's going to apply 12 project 12 damage to all of these cards. Goodness gracious. All right. I think we're okay. Do I want to do another board upgrade? No, I still have... I mean, I might as well, I guess. I might as well. Let's shift... Let's just shift down, that's fine. Okay, now I gotta figure out a way into the... Can I go this way? Yeah, let's go that way. So we'll go down this here, down this there, here, here. Oh, I'm just racking up the notoriety right now. Oh my gosh, we are just bursting this. Hello, Oaken. What are you doing? I'm doing a playtest of my game right now. I haven't really playtested my game with any of the new major changes much. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just trying to get a feel for how all the new systems are working. I think it's generally pretty good. I still need to figure out how I want to reduce the combat speed a little bit. It still feels a little bit bursty to me, but we'll figure that out. Adds the alchemical tag to a card. Do I have anything that leverages alchemical? I don't. Increases critical multiplier by 0.5x. Yep. Wait a minute. Oh, adding enchantments does not update board state. Right, I have that written down already. Okay. So it says a 2x multiplier and a 40% crit chance. Why does it have a 40% crit chance? 15, 15, that's 30 right there. Does it have a 10% base chance? Let's see. It does have a 10% base chance, okay. 40%, okay, all right, so that's pretty good. Alchemical reagents, ooh, Death Orchid. Go to the shop. Oh, the enemies are gonna get really tough here in a second. 5 damage to self, deal 12 damage. This card executes again if at least 5 self damage was taken since last execution. Anytime an allied card heals self, apply poison to the enemy instead. Anytime an allied card applies poison to the enemy, heal self instead. I don't really have anything, I mean... Oh, this is still absorb... I gotta pay attention to that. Manticore Stinger, do I want that? I'm not really applying poison at all, so maybe not. All alchemical cards gain healing. We've got only 2 alchemical cards. This is a tier 4 card upgrade. Actually, we can upgrade the imp. Let me sell this, and then we can purchase the card upgrade. Upgrade the imp. That should be able to absorb 2 abilities now, as well as project more fire. Okay. So that's good. Uh-oh. Inquisition blesses some locations. Notoriety penalty increased by 3. Blood reward is increased by 5. I gotta get up into that region, so let's see. Yeah, I'm not really taking any damage here. Gonna need to figure out what to do about that. Bottom edge of the board, apply 9 fire. Just go ahead and throw that on the board, extra fire damage. Okay, this is gonna upgrade the encounters. Deal 18 damage, apply 2 holy per enemy ritual card. Okay, okay, okay. So now, let's put this guy back here. Unlock this, move that over. Then we'll find a spot for the salamander. Is that the best way to do this? Swap those around. This is a lower turn cooldown and it does more fire damage. Okay, I think that should work. The Inquisition strength has grown. We're gonna hunt down this boss. We could sell this. Let's do this actually. Can I just throw a bunch of gold on the board here? Sweet roll. How did I get a sweet roll? Did I not mark that as an enemy? Oops. Let's see. Sweet roll. His enemy is flippable. Okay. I forgot to mark that as an enemy. That is not a legitimate card, so I won't take that one. 18 preserve damage. Copies up to 4 poison abilities of adjacent cards. Apply 6 poison to self. Alright. Let's just sell it. I don't think any of those results are very good. Let's grab an artifact. Cauldron Scrub Brush again. Let's go. I could have rerolled, I guess. All right, here we go. Let's trigger the boss fight. Let's trigger this boss fight. Card upgrade 5. Can I upgrade the Skeleton Mage again? Yes, I can. That is a tier 6 Skeleton Mage. Let's go. And then boss fight time. Oh, gosh. 748. Well, I guess let's just go ahead and see what happens. Oh, I won. That's good. Okay. To menu. All right. Well, I would say that overall, that was pretty fun. I think that there are a couple major things that are still a problem. So there's not really any incentive to choose one region over another. So I think one next step would be to make certain event types only available in certain regions. Or make them more common. Maybe there could be region-wide buffs of some kind. I need to reduce the burstiness of the combat somewhat. So I think, I've been thinking about this a little bit. I think what I need to do is I need to reduce the raw power of a lot of cards and rely more on synergies explicitly for your damage. So I don't think it should necessarily be the case that just putting a bunch of strong cards on your board makes you win. I think what I need to require is I need to require the player to use some synergies. So all the power should basically come from synergies, and all the base card power should be relatively weak. I think that might be a way to control the burstiness of the combat. Of course, maybe just reducing damage numbers across the board as well. Like, I want to stick with small numbers. Like, I want it to be the case where, like, if you have a card that applies, like, 3 fire, you're like, oh my gosh, that's a huge amount of damage, you know what I mean? So, I might need to do another, like, number squash, just, like, reduce numbers across the board. But then also take a look at, like, which cards... Yeah, maybe just the raw numbers. Certainly introduce more synergy possibilities. But... yeah, we'll figure it out. So let me write that down. I need to reduce... I don't know what to tag this as, that's fine. And then, yeah, like... I think that map exploration is a lot more fun than the previous version of the map exploration, I think. I just need to indicate to the player, like, what the difficulty of, like, the map is currently based on how many times your notoriety has wrapped around. So the way it works now is every time your notoriety hits 100, the difficulty goes up. What I might also do is I might actually... experiment with increasing the cost, notoriety, penalty of nodes. I think it feels like I can gain power a little bit too easily. Like, it feels like there's not enough pressure for me to go and fight the bosses. So the way this map is set up is it's supposed to give you the free roam that you want. So you can visit nodes however and whenever you want. But there's supposed to be this background pressure where, like, the enemies are going to keep growing in strength if you dilly-dally, right? If you take too much time. And so you have to, the experience I'm trying to create is you have to balance between upgrading your power and avoiding the enemies from increasing in power. So I want the players to have to make judgment calls about whether they are comfortable fighting a boss right now, or if they're okay risking increasing the boss power if there's a path of nodes they want to visit to increase their own power, right? I like the fact that the strongholds are a little bit difficult to find because it adds to that pressure a little bit. Like, I need to go find the stronghold, but oh, there's a node here that I really want, but it kind of takes me out of the way of where I wanted to go exploring for the stronghold, etc. So I think there's a lot of things in this rework that are working really well. I think that It just needs to be tightened a little bit. But I think it's generally like, I think it's positive. These improvements are all positives for the game. I think this is a much more compelling gameplay experience than the way the map worked before. But we'll see. I mean, I want to get this all in a good spot and then do a play test as soon as possible so that all of you can try it, because, you know, how I feel about it is not necessarily that important. It's how the players feel about it, right? So we'll see. Maybe you can add some waypoints on the map that you can teleport to. Might help with backtracking these kinds of situations. Yeah, teleportation is definitely a thing that I'm interested in doing. I don't know exactly how that would work. But, you know, I think that there's definitely an opportunity to do that. Is there a way to fight like X1, X2, 4? Yeah, you can change the speeds. There's also an auto-resolve button, so if you're pretty sure that you're going to win or you don't really care to watch it, you can just click the auto-resolve button and it will just like insta-kill either you or the enemy. So yeah, you don't have to sit there and watch the fight. I think in a lot of cases, in auto battlers, the most boring part is watching the fight. I think the whole appeal of auto battlers is just doing the strategization, right? But unlock screen looks cool. Thank you, Rookie Tookie. Hey, thank you, Dual Wielded Live, for the raid of 9 people. Thank you. Appreciate that. Like Risk of Rain? Yeah, it's kind of like Risk of Rain in the sense that, you know, in Risk of Rain, you're racing against time, right? But in this game, since it's like a turn-based, take your time kind of strategy game, it's not a time-based thing, but it is like every move you make is increasing the enemy's strength, right? This is Obsidian with the Kanban plugin. That's what the tool I'm using is. So we've got a number of things to fix. I think, like I said, I think that was a good experience. I mean, does anyone have any opinions of what they watched? Like, does it look compelling to you? I know it's hard to tell until you play it, but if you have any initial thoughts on what you just saw, I am all ears. But we do have a number of issues to fix that came up just from that playtest. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and fix a lot of those things first. And then we'll figure it out. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then when I come back, we will see what's going on with some of these issues. So BRB in just 3 minutes. Okay, I'm back. How much fun do you have playing your own game instead of others? I mean, the problem with working on a game for a long period of time is like it doesn't surprise me anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are certain situations in Alchemortis that do surprise me, like that moment of realization where I'm like, oh, I can make this synergy work. That still hits me a lot of times. But, you know, I think I'm developing everything. I know everything that's in the game. I'm not going to be surprised about what cards show up, right? I'm not going to be surprised at what abilities show up because I've made all the things, so I've encountered all the things. I think part of the enjoyment of this game is going to be not just the strategy gameplay, but the constant like stream of unlocks that you're going to get, right? The constant stream of like new stuff that you're going to discover. And I don't get to have that experience because I know everything that happens in the game. And that's one of the things that's really hard about game development, I think, is it's hard to judge like when you're creating an interesting experience for the player because you know everything that's going to happen and you know how to play your game. I mean, this happens quite frequently, like with game jams, for example. Like game jam developers will oftentimes make their game way too hard because they are just used to playing their game to death while they're developing the game, and then it gets out into the wild and people are like, this is way too hard, or I don't know how to play this game. So it's really hard to like get into the mind of a player who has not interacted with your game at all and like understand what experience they're going to have. And I think that's why, you know, I'm taking a much different approach with this game compared to Gunforge, where I'm doing regular play tests because I can't get into the mind of people who are playing the game. I can't understand how they're approaching it without them actually being able to play it, right? So anyway, so how much enjoyment do I get out of playing my game compared to others? Yeah, it depends. The dopamine hit is more in seeing someone enjoy your game rather than enjoying yourself. Yeah, I would agree with that too, for sure. For sure. I mean, like I said, there are situations in this game where I'm like, ooh, that was a cool synergy that I was able to create right there. But it's not going to be, the game is not going to be fun for me in the same way that it would be fun for somebody who just bought the game on Steam and is like putting their first 5 to 10 hours of playtime into it, right? So that's kind of what's hard about game development. Experiment with increasing the notoriety penalty of nodes. So we'll do that one later. Card tags and tooltip are not using temporary tags. Let's fix that. So this is actually, I can just do this. Card.get tags. Done. That's an easy fix. Now I just need to, it's going to take more time to set up the test compared to actually fixing the code. Oh, and I don't have my test cards enabled. There we go. Okay, so what I should see now, so this acolyte is projecting the ritual tag, which has this symbol here. So it's projecting the ritual tag onto other cards. So this is just a minion, and I can see that in the tooltip. It has the minion icon. So when I move this guy up here, I should see the ritual tag on the skeleton mage now because this guy is projecting the ritual tag onto cards. So that's good. I think we can call that fixed now. Gotta love the easy ones. Change Phoenix Exhaust ability to Deferred Exhaust. I do want to do that. Let me see how easy that's going to be. New exhaustible ability. Why do I have this? Execution count provider. I don't know why I have this as an exhaustible ability. I should probably rewrite this. I'm just going to rewrite this because I don't think this is going to be easy. I don't want to maintain this system. So when I originally started the game, the idea was that each ability was going to have its own class. But then it turned out that I kept creating so many unique abilities that I just had to like do this boilerplate every time I was setting up the class. So I came up with this new framework for defining abilities where I can just write the code in line basically. So what I can do now is I can do execution count provider, new execution count provider, like so. And then what we're going to do is we'll do var fire equals, I think I can do ability builder dot fire like this, if I'm not mistaken. So ability builder dot fire 10. And then var exhaust applicator is equal to new buff applicator, exhaust debuff, ability factory, target provider. Okay, so we'll do self query and then initial base magnitude 0, buff factory magnitude, new exhausted debuff magnitude. And we also want to do apply. How do I do apply deferred? Can I do that? Apply deferred equals true. Return new ability builder dot ability configuration. Abilities is equal to self query fire. We need to make this conditional. So let's do execution count provider, and then conditional exhaust is equal to new conditional ability decorator. The decorated ability is going to be the exhaust applicator. And then the condition is going to be execution count provider is greater than or equal to 2. Conditional exhaust. Okay, and then scaling func is equal to tier. Scalar is equal to, actually, I may not need that. I think I can just do fire.scale for tier. Yeah, I think that's all I need to do. And then let's put the fire first and then the self query here. Okay, and then description. Description func is equal to this. Fire.description becomes exhausted after 2 executions. Okay, and then I think we can just put that in here now. Exhaust after fire applied. So that's how I create my abilities. Just using a bunch of basic building blocks to create a logical flow. I think that's going to work, but there's no way to tell. We're going to delete this though. Okay. Let's just go ahead and test this. Phoenix, training dummy. I hope the Phoenix can be placed. Phoenix has to be one of my least favorite cards, NGL. Well, I was using it successfully in my latest run because I think the strength of the Phoenix is that it has a lot of very good burst fire damage. Like it front loads a lot of fire applications, but that's counteracted by the exhaust. And I think when I do my rebalancing pass that I want to do, I think that's going to become even more apparent. So it's definitely going to have like a niche use case, but I think it's fine to have these abilities that are like, or it's fine to have cards that have very niche uses. Like the problem with, like, for example, collecting a bunch of telemetry and then seeing how often cards are used in victory scenarios, right? is that I think it's actually okay to have cards that have a very low usage rate as long as they have a very clear set of situations where they can be strong. You know, so it's like balancing the game is not about making sure that every card is equally appealing, right? It's about making the tools available to the player to figure out when like niche cards are useful, right? Alchemizing it is rarely a good idea. Well, I mean, the other thing you could do is you can get immunity to exhaust on this card as well, and that will counteract that exhausted. So we'll see. I mean, I'm always open to changing stuff for sure. But that appears to be working, so okay. Remove board state contingent updates for player inventory. I'm still not sure if I want to do this. Okay, let's put the giant mushroom on there as well. I'm gonna need to get rid of some of this stuff. I didn't even think about giving it exhaust immunity. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, and I think, you know, there's probably a lot of cases in this game where the things are too niche that they're hard to make work. You know what I mean? But, yeah. We'll figure that out. How do you stop yourself from making every card appealing? Imagine it would be less exciting to work on if you try to make it awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think... I mean, that's a good question. I think the goal is to make all the cards appealing in some way, like I said, like... But it's okay if some of them are appealing only in very niche situations. I think my primary goal is not necessarily appeal. I guess that's a part of it, but my primary goal is to create a plethora of unique abilities that create like a whole, basically library of abilities, and just let the player decide when they can make use of certain abilities and when they can't. And yeah, there are going to be some abilities that are too weak or too niche, and I think that that's just going to be something that's just going to have to be worked out through playtesting. But yeah, I would say my primary objective is like to provide a huge library of very unique abilities. Like, I don't want to have like, you know, 50 player cards all just have like very basic like raw damage, right? I want them to have maybe damage, but it does more damage under this situation, or maybe it only deals damage if X happened during combat, right? But, you know, it's all ultimately guess and check, right? It's like implement some abilities, do a playtest, see which cards are too strong, see which ones are too weak, and then tweak them. But I think this is working now, so if I put this here and I put that there, that's going to have that, yeah. So now the contingent updates are not going to take effect here. So like this Fungus Giganticus, it sets the turn cooldown of allied cards below equal to this card's turn cooldown, but it's not changing this one's turn cooldown at all. And this Acolyte is also not projecting the ritual tag, except onto here. Why is that happening? Oh, you know what I need to do probably? This is ignoring... Let's do this. I'm going to modify this just a little bit because it does need to do the reset, but it shouldn't apply the updates. So we'll remove this is board state update queued, and then we'll move this check after that. So we still want to do the reset. Okay. So this will reset all of the contingent abilities. So that should fix the case where the Skeleton Mage was retaining that ritual tag. So I put the Skeleton Mage here and put it here, then I move the Skeleton Mage back, it's getting reset. But then when I put this back here, it's not getting that ritual tag. So I think that's good. I think that's good. All right. Okay, that should work. We're just blasting through these issues. Investigate whether Obelisk is generating combat nodes at the appropriate level. Board Inspector is showing player applied fire and poison statuses. That's a big one. Don't delay notoriety increase. Tier values are shown for cleared nodes, and we got to update the sun dial. Okay. The Obelisk. Investigate whether Obelisk is generating combat nodes at appropriate level. So let's go to the Obelisk configuration. Yeah, so the problem here... So the problem is when all the combat difficulties get upgraded as a result of hitting that 100 notoriety level, I can visit an obelisk which will generate combat encounters, but those combat encounters that are generated may not be the appropriate difficulty based on how many times the enemy's strength has gone up. So this is being done where? Map nodes to obelisk configuration. Get obelisk configuration for node. Animate map node changes, set map node changes to animate. Animated map node changes. Generate combat encounter. So yeah, I think when I generate the combat encounter, oh, this is a mess. Why is this tier being overwritten here? So this increment tier is being called, and then we call generate on that. But then the tier is being overwritten here. That doesn't make any sense. Why is this happening? I think there's a bug here. Generation args.node.tier. I don't know why this is happening. So I think what's happening is that on initial generation, it's setting the combat tier to whatever the node tier is. And then when I go to increment tier, it's incrementing that tier and generating a new board based on that. But then the confusing part is it's resetting the tier down here. So it's like, I think what I need to do is I need to change this. This generation args, let's do public required int difficulty. Maybe we'll call it like difficulty tier or something like that. So we're going to require a difficulty tier. We're not going to set the tier here. Difficult generation args. Difficulty tier +1. We're gonna get rid of this tier. Var new tier is equal to generation args.difficulty tier +1. New tier. And then width. Difficulty tier equals new tier. Okay. Run map node. Where am I actually setting the tier here? Let's see. Assign a node tier. Compute tier for node. What? Ah, fudge. Compute tier for node. I think that's right. Oh wait. Upgrade non-comp. Oh, that's fine. We have the notoriety tier in here. So we already have the notoriety tier. Okay, so I think what that means is what does the notoriety tier start off as? Okay, it starts off as, oh, it's notoriety region boss defeated.count. I think this will work. I think what all I need to do is do animated map node changes. Set map node changes to animate. So this is in the obelisk. Event state machine context. Public required int notoriety tier. We're going to cut this out. Okay. Upgrade non-combat encounters, notoriety tier. I think that's right. I don't know. In the obelisk event state machine, Oh, maybe I didn't need that in the context. Ah, why is this so difficult? Animated map node changes. Okay. All right, this should work. One question, have you been doing live streams since the beginning of this game's development? Can I find the streams from when you started the project? Yeah. Yeah, so it's all on the YouTube. I haven't been streaming on Twitch for that long, only a couple of weeks at this point, maybe a month or so. But if you go to the YouTube channel, which it looks like you're already on, you can go to the live streams tab, and basically every single live stream there is an Alchemortis live stream. So you can go way, way back. I've been doing live streams like 5 to 6 times a week on average since I started working on the game, except for the very, very early stages of development. So there are hundreds of hours of content there for you if you are so inclined to look at it. Or var I equals 0, I is less than notoriety tier, I++, combat config.increment tier. Maybe I'll change this. Well, Man, this is a mess. This is a mess. I need to rework all of this. Let's just get rid of this for now. Shoot. I don't think this is gonna work. I have a mess here. I have a mess on my hands. Oh, maybe not actually. I think this is only called during generate, so maybe a rename of this method would be appropriate. But anyway, then we go up here, int notoriety tier, notoriety tier. Oops, I don't need to int there. Okay, so I'm passing in the notoriety tier to map node changes. That's going to be passed along to generate combat encounter. In seeded run, during generate combat encounter, we're going to increment the tier. So we're going to set the initial, target difficulty score and all that stuff. But before we actually do the generation, we'll increment the tier. Where is this difficulty tier used? So I don't think the difficulty tier is actually used for this here. It's just increasing this combat upgrade score here, which I'm going to need to think about as well. So I need to get all this handled, but in the meanwhile, let's do this. I just want to see if that even works. Event type obelisk is 13. So we'll just generate a bunch of obelisks. Generate test map. So what I want to see is that if I increase the enemy strength a bunch of times, do that. Okay, if I increase the enemy strength a bunch of times, what I should see is that an obelisk which generates a combat configuration should hopefully be the proper difficulty. So let's do set enemy strength to 100. We'll visit this obelisk here. We'll skip this one. I just want to set the combat difficulty tier. Oh, wait. Oh, shoot. Yeah, this is all wrong. because the notoriety tier is being calculated based on notoriety region boss defeated. That's not correct. This actually needs to be a value that just gets incremented. It's not based on boss defeats at all. Okay. We are going to want bosses defeated here. Notoriety tier there. We'll just make this bosses defeated. But this notoriety tier needs to increase now. State combat encounter upgrade. Increment the notoriety tier there. All right. That should work. I need to redo that whole system. But one thing at a time, I suppose. So set the Inquisition strength here. We'll skip this. Let that upgrade. Set enemy strength 100 again. We'll let this upgrade. And then we'll find an obelisk that generates combat encounters, and then we'll see if that is generating a properly difficult combat encounter. Of course, we're not going to find a combat encounter node. That's all right. Really? No combat encounters? Should probably limited the loot table pool for this. Here we go, combat nodes. Let's see if this works. Yeah, that looks proper to me. Now these still say tier 1. They say tier 1, but these are actually pretty difficult boards here. Now I gotta trace where that combat tier is being assigned. Difficulty scorer. Get combat tier for score. Oh, this is using the unbiased score. Oh, increment tier. Yeah, I need to figure out how to do this. Oh man, this is a mess. I've got like 4 different numbers flying around. So I generate a score for a combat encounter that determines how difficult it is, but I have a concept of like an unbiased and a biased score. The biased score is basically I can just multiply a number by the final score to make it more difficult. So that's for like if I want to have more difficult runs, like if I want to allow the player to engage in like a more difficult run, like Ascension mode from Slay the Spire, I think is what it's called. And there are certain elements of the game that work based off of the unbiased score. For instance, determining what the tier of the node should be for combat will be based on the unbiased score. So that way it's consistent, right? So that means that when you go in Ascension mode, you're not ending up with a tier 20 node. It just stays on the range of like tier 1 to 8, right? As like a rough estimator of the combat difficulty. But this target difficulty score, this is going to be the biased score, and that's the score that's actually used for the generation of the combat encounter. The problem is when I increment a combat tier, the unbiased score as well as the biased score probably needs to go up, but I don't really have a clean way of doing that. So I might need to do, I'm going to change this. So this actually almost needs to update the unbiased score here. Like it almost needs to recalculate the scores based on yeah, I don't know. I need to think through this. But I think the main thing here is that the combats are now being generated with the proper actual difficulty. It's just a matter of like, I need to get the data all easier to reason about because this is a whole tangled mess of stuff. And then this difficulty tier here, this is kind of not clear either, because it has no effect unless it's a boss. So this difficulty tier is being used to generate the boss score, but it's not being used in any way to generate the combat difficulties either. So I think I want to rework this to be standardized, where I have a difficulty tier and that determines how difficult the board is, and use that as like the sole number. So yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. But it's kind of working. It's kind of working. Anyway, that'll be it for the stream today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna go take a break for lunch and then come back to this in the afternoon. But if you're interested, you could wishlist this game, Alchemortis, on Steam. If you like what you see, it's a dark fantasy roguelite auto-battler where you can use alchemy to create your own synergies. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. You can also support on Patreon. You can support by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, following on Twitch, all that good stuff. And of course, there's a Discord as well, linked below if you want to come and join the community and get updates on what's happening with Alchemortis, all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a great weekend. I may stream again later this afternoon, so keep an eye on the Discord for that. Otherwise, I will see you back here on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern. All right, take care, everyone. Have a good day, and bye-bye for now.